holding over here by Daf Yud Amud Bet on the bottom. We have a lot to do, so we're going to maybe go a little bit fast today. We're in the middle of a machloket, Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan. Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan had the following machloket. Let's say one brother does chalitza to one of the wives.
You don't put it up then?
No, I don't have so many pictures today, So let's say one brother does chalitza to one of the wives. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Now the question is, what's the halacha with the rest of the brothers to that wife or to any of the wives?
Nothing.
So are they everyone agrees there's an isur. Reish Lakish says there's an isur karet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but anytime someone's brother, someone's sister-in-law is anytime there's no mitzvah of yibum for someone's sister-in-law, so Reish Lakish says, well, there's no mitzvah of yibum, so she's an erva, exactly. But Rabbi Yochanan says, no, over here we have a special pasuk that says that it's a lav. She's not an erva. He's over a lav if he's with her, because the pasuk says, Kacha yaseh leish asher lo yivneh et beit aviv. Anyone who doesn't boneh, he doesn't take his sister-in-law to do yibum, shuv lo yivneh. We learned, the Gemara makes a drasha, shuv lo yivneh, he can't do it anymore. There's an isur to be with that woman anymore. So, just to clarify, when it comes to, let's say, Reuven is the brother, he died. Reuven had 3 wives, okay? And Reuven had 3 brothers, okay?
Uh-huh.
So these 3 ladies fall to Yibum.
Uh-huh.
Brother number 1 does chalitza to wife number 1. So between them, there's a lav now. No, she's not an erva. There's a lav for brother number 1 to marry the wife number 1 after he did chalitza.
Uh-huh.
That everybody agrees. The machloket is, what about the rest of the brothers and the rest of the ladies? Can the rest of the brothers, if they marry this lady or the other ladies, is there a lav on them or is there karet? Reish Lakish says karet. Rabbi Yochanan says no, it's a lav, because this brother was a shliach for all of them and this lady was a shliach for all of them. So they all just have this isur of a lav. That's the machlok. So the Gemara brought a braita, which the first half of the braita seemed to indicate like Rabbi Yochanan, and the second half of the braita seemed to indicate like Reish Lakish. Let's just read it again. We're gonna go a little bit fast. So
What's the first word?
we're by where it's Eitve. The first one on the line is Eitve. Eitve Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish. So Eitve Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish. Ha-cholet l'ivimto v'chazar v'kidsha v'met. Somebody did chalitza, and then he was mekadesh this lady again, and then he died. So according to Reish Lakish, she is an erva on the other brothers. So, but the Braita says tzricha chalitza, she needs chalitza. Mina achin, from the brothers. Now, bishlama ledidi, Rabbi Yochanan says, according to me, it's very good. Da'amina chayve lavin ninhu, because she's not an erva, she's a isur lav. So, hainu de tzricha chalitza, she needs chalitza, because she's not an erva, according to Rabbi Yochanan. Mina achin. Ela ledidach, amai tzricha chalitza, but according to you, Reish Lakish, why should she need chalitza? She's an erva. So that part of the Braita sounds like Rabbi Yochanan. So the first part of the Braita is a proof to Rabbi Yochanan. Then it says, Ultamech ema sefa, amad echad min ha'achin v'kidsha, ein la alav klum. Reish Lakish turns around to Rabbi Yochanan and says, I have a disproof to you also. Look at the end of the Braita. What does it say in the end of the Braita? It says that if one of the other brothers is mikadesh this lady, ein la alav klum, there's nothing. No kiddushin here. So that means that it's not an isur lav, because if it was a lav, kiddushin would work. That means it's an isur karet, it's an erva. So vi chayve lavin ninhu, if it's just a lav, amay ein la alav klum. Why is there no kiddushin? So the first part of the Braita sounds like there's an isur lav. The second part of the Braita sounds like it's an isur karet. She's an erva. So how do we put this together? It's one part sounds like Rabbi Yochanan, one part sounds like Reish Lakish. So Amar Rav Sheshet Seifa Atan Rabbi Akiva. So Rav Sheshet says the Seifa is going in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. Meaning, this is a suggestion that the Gemara is going to dismiss. The Gemara is going to push off this suggestion. But what the Gemara wants to suggest is really the first part of the Braita is like Rabbi Yochanan. And really, it's an Isur Lav. The second part of the Braita that says that there's no Kiddushin if one of the brothers tries to be Mekadesh this lady, that's going according to the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. We're switching to the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. Damar ein Kiddushin tofsin b'chayvei lav. In Rabbi Akiva's opinion, which is going to come up throughout, it's going to come up in a couple places, that Rabbi Akiva holds that there's no Kiddushin by chayvei lavin, which means if somebody tries to be Mekadesh a lady, and she's not an erva, but she's an isur lav on him. So let's say a man tries to be mekadesh a mamzeret, right? There's an isur lav. According to Rabbi Akiva, no kiddushin. So the Gemara wants to say the end of the Braita is going with this opinion of Rabbi Akiva. So the Gemara rejects this. The Gemara says, "What are you talking about? Velitni ledivri Rabbi Akiva ein lo alav klum." The Gemara says, "Why does it have to say a whole new case? It could have just kept the original case and said, and Rabbi Akiva holds, ein lo alav klum. Why did we have to say, oh, if one of the brothers got up and was Mekadesh, what do you mean? So kasha. So the Gemara says, okay, that's a good question. We don't have an answer for that. So that's not a good explanation of the Braita. So we're left with our Braita. The first part of the Braita seems to indicate like Rabbi Yochanan. The Seifa of the Braita, second part of the Braita, seems to indicate like Reish Lakish. So the Gemara is going to bring, there's two ways to understand this Braita, to work it out according to Rabbi Yochanan and according to Reish Lakish. Rav Ashi savar lak Reish Lakish umtaretz lak Rabbi Shimon. Rav Ashi, he's going to explain the Braita like Reish Lakish according to the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. Ravina savar lak Rabbi Yochanan umtaretz ki Rabbanan. Ravina is going to say the Braita like Rabbi Yochanan, and he's going to explain in accordance to the opinion of the Rabbanan. So the Gemara is going to explain now each way of understanding. Rav Ashi savar like Reish Lakish umtaretz like Rabbi Shimon. Rav Ashi says like Reish Lakish and explains like Rabbi Shimon like this. The Braita says, "Hacholetz leivimto v'chazar v'kidsha tzricha chalitza min ha'achin." Guy did chalitza to this lady, and then he was mikadesh her again, and then he died. So this lady needs chalitza from the other brothers. So this is like Rabbi Yochanan, that this marriage was a good marriage, and the other brothers. This is like Rabbi Yochanan, that she's not an erva to the other brothers. So man achin, and which brothers are we talking about? So achin hayeludim, we're talking about the brothers that were born after she did yibum. So this is going to answer for Reish Lakish over here. Meaning, she's not an erva on the brothers that were born after she did Yibum. So again, the case is brother number one. You have Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. Okay, so Reuven, he died. Shimon did chalitza to one of his wives, and then he decided, you know what, I want to marry her. And then he died. Okay? Now,
the marriage is a chal.
It is. According to everyone, the marriage is chal, because but it's not karet. There's no isur karet over there, so the marriage is chal.
Okay.
So another
brother born.
Yeah, after she does yibum. After there was a brother born before he died, before the second one died, before Shimon died. Okay. Then Shimon dies. She's allowed, according to Rabbi Shimon, she's allowed to do yibum to that new brother, because the whatever happened before that brother was born, we don't care about. So, manachin.
The new brother doesn't have a status of brother.
No, he does. It's just that she's not an erva on him, because he wasn't born during the time that she became a chalutza, that one of the brothers did chalitza. So since she wasn't born at that time, he wasn't born at that time. He was only born after the brother took her in, did yibum, or whatever, remarried her, right? The brother did chalitza, and then married her, and then this new brother was born. So since he was born after the fact, she's not an erva on him. So man achin hayiludim, keman Rabbi Shimon, then that works according to Rabbi Shimon, and that part wouldn't be a question on Reish Lakish anymore. And amad echad min hagidolim vekidsha, but if one of the other brothers who was already born tries to be mekadesher, ein lo alav klum, there's no kiddushin at all. That's like Reish Lakish, that she's considered 100% erva. Keman Reish Lakish, that's like Reish Lakish. So that's one way of understanding the Braita. Ravina savarla ke Rabbi Yochanan. Ravina holds like Rabbi Yochanan. Taritz la lib de Rabbanan, and he explains like Rabbanan. Hacholet livim tov v'chazar v'kitsha tzricha chalitza min ha'achin. So the first line that said somebody who did chalitza, and then he took this woman, he did kiddushin, he did yibum, whatever, not yibum, but kiddushin. He married her after doing chalitza, and then he died. So she needs chalitza from the other brothers. She is she's a zikuka. She needs chalitza from the other brothers. So man achin hanoladim. This is talking about the brothers who are already there. But the brothers who were born afterwards shall be an erva. It's eshet ach shelo haya ba'olamo. Rabbi Yochanan. That's going in accordance with Rabbi Yochanan. Amad echad mina yeludim v'kidsha. But if one of the brothers who was born afterwards was mikadesher, ein la alav klum. That's not a good kiddushin. Keman kirabanan. That's going like Rabbanan, because if this now we're explaining like this. Remember we had a machloket about eshet ach shelo haya ba'olamo. If there's three brothers, okay, and then brother number one dies, brother number two does yibum, and then there's another brother that's born. So if that second brother now dies, is this lady eshet ach shelo haya ba'olamo? Is she an erva to the last brother that was born? Since Rabbi Shimon says, since he was born after the brother did yibum, she's not an erva. Rabbanan say, no, she's still an erva. So according to Rabbi Yochanan, the Rabbi Yochanan is going in, he's learning, or the Gemara is explaining, Rabbi Yochanan is learning in accordance with the Shita of Rabbanan, that this lady is gonna be eshet ach shelo haya ba'olamo, of any new brother that is born. Therefore, any new brother that is born, if he tries to do kiddushin, it's not gonna be chal. But any existing brother, their kiddushin would be chal, and she requires yibum, or she requires chalitza, but she can't do yibum because it's an isur, but she requires chalitza, she has a zikah to them. So that's how you explain according to Rabbi Yochanan. Okay, now that was all talking about a case where the brothers did, one of the brothers did chalitza, and then he took her back. Now, the question is like this. What about if one of the brothers does yibum? So, itmar. Haba al yevama, uba echad min ha'achin al tzarata. The case is like this. You have a bunch of brothers. Reuven has 3 wives, okay?
3 wives.
And Reuven dies. Yeah, he has a bunch of wives. Doesn't matter how many. Reuven dies. So, he has a few brothers also. Let's just say he has 3 brothers and 3 wives. So, brother number 1, Shimon, does yibum to his first wife.
Yibum.
Yeah. Now, the rest of the wives are piturot. There's nothing else needs to be done. Now, let's say one of the other brothers, he decides to marry one of the other wives. What's that status? Is she an erva on him? Is there an isur? Is it lav? What's the isur?
Because she is out of those 2 wives, they're out of the family.
Yeah, it's eshet ach.
It's not eshet ach. It's not. Oh,
Shelo b'mkom mitzvah. Meaning it was eshet ach. The brother, he died. But there was no mitzvah of yibum, meaning the mitzvah of yibum was already taken care of to one of the ladies. So now it's eshet ach, where there's no longer a mitzvah of yibum. So what's the situation over there? So pligi ba Rav Acha veRavina. So machlok Rav Acha veRavina. Chad amar bekaret. One says there's an isur karet. V'chad amar ba'aseh. And the other one says it's an isur aseh. Man damar bekaret. Keresh Lakish. The one that says it's karet, he's going according to Resh Lakish. that once there's no mitzvah of yibum, automatically it becomes karet. She's eshet ach. It's called eshet ach shelo bimkom mitzvah. It's the wife of his brother in a scenario where there's no mitzvah of yibum. Reish Lakish says automatic karet. Man dawar ba'aseh, the one that says he's over in Isur Aseh, Rabbi Yochanan. That's going according to Rabbi Yochanan. Now, what's the Aseh? So, Machloket, Rashi, Rambam, Tosfot over here. We have an extra minute just to see it. Rashi says, what's the Aseh? It says, Bait echad hu boneh ve'ein boneh shnei batim. It says, Asher lo yivne et beit achiv. Rashi says, there's only bait echad. You can only do, this is drasha later on in the Gemara, that bait echad hu boneh, he can only build one household, but they don't build two households. You don't do. So the Rashi learns that's an Isur Aseh. The Rambam learns from a different pasuk. Can't remember right now. Maybe Yevamot yavo aleha. On Yevamot comes on her and not on the tzara. Something like that. The Rambam learns from a different pasuk. Tosfot learns that it's not an aseh. Tosfot says actually when the Gemara says aseh, it's not really aseh. It's a mistake in the Gemara. It's a wrong girsa. Amar Rabbeinu Tam de Garsina Chad Amar Belav. That's and Rabbeinu Chananel and Rabbeinu Tam. They learn that it's an isur lav. But either way, okay, that is that. So what are we coming out? That halacha is, by the way, like Rabbi Yochanan. So the halacha, if one per brother did chalitza to a lady, there's an isur lav, not karet, isur lav for him to be together with that woman, and isur lav for any of the brothers to be together with any of the wives, because the brother who did the chalitza is a shaliach, and the woman who did the chalitza, she's a shaliach of all the wives. But they all have this isur lav, no karet. That's Rabbi Yochanan, that's what we paskin like. And when it comes to yibum, if one of the brothers did yibum, and the other brothers are, the other brothers also have an isur aseh, that's the way Shulchan Aruch paskins. Some say it's a lav. But either way, we paskin, there's no karet. Okay. Further, Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, Tzarat Sota Asura. Oh, okay. So this we had very, very briefly in the beginning of the Masechet. So Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Tzarat Sota Asura. What's the case of Tzarat Sota? So you have a man who has two wives. One of them became a Sota. One of them, she was unfaithful. She was with somebody else, and then so the halacha is that her husband has to divorce. Yeah, that's the way we pass it, right? The husband has to divorce her. So let's say the husband didn't. He kept her. He didn't divorce her. Yeah, he kept her, and then he died. So do we say, 1 second, she is like an erva somehow to the other brothers, somehow, and therefore there's no yibum in this case? Or do we say there is yibum?
The second wife could be yibum. He has two wives, is it?
Yeah.
The second wife, one of them is Sota, the other one is Kilim.
Okay, but in general, if one wife is an erva, then there's no yibum to any of the wives. So do we say the same thing by Sota? That's the question. So Rav teaches that Tzarat Sota Asura, the Tzara, the co-wife, is Asura. There's no yibum in such a case. This is according to Rav. Why? Tum'a ktiv ba ke'arayot. Because by the Sota, it says Tum'a. It says Va'at kisati Tum'a tachat ishech. And also, it says Tum'a by Arayot. So it says Tum'a by Sota, which compares her to Arayot, and therefore she's pitura from Yibum. So this is Rav's halacha, that the co-wife of a Sota, there's no Yibum. So Mativ Rav Chisda le Rabbi Shimon. Rav Chisda asks against Rabbi Shimon. I'm sorry. Mativ Rav Chisda. Rav Chisda asks against Rav. Rabbi Shimon omer biyato chalitzata me achiv shel rishon poteret tzarata. Okay, so this case, here's a little bit of background. So case is a woman leaves town. She goes to a man. Married man, he leaves town. He's out of town, he's away, and a witness comes and he says he's died. No, he tells the wife, listen, your husband died. I saw it, your husband died. And she gets married to somebody. Okay? So this is the whole 10th parak, I think, is all about these cases. So the case we want to pull out is then the husband comes back. Okay, so now she's married, she started a whole family, it's been 3-4 years. The husband comes back. Yeah, okay. So la halacha, that we have to she can't marry any of them, and it's a whole balagan. We're gonna learn about it later. Not to get it but not to get into it now. But the point is, if those two die now, so what's gonna be with Yibum and Chalitza? So she was married to this guy, he left town, she married somebody else, he came back, so both of them die. So
both of who? Both the husbands?
Both the husbands die. So says Rabbi Shimon Omer, Biata o chalitzata me'achiv shel rishon poteret tzarata. That the first brother, the first husband, if his brother does chalitza or yibum, that's poter the tzara, the co-wife.
Oh, they didn't do any yibum or they did chalitza. She got married with somebody else.
Yeah.
Because he had a brother, and the brother didn't do Chalisa or Yevum. And she went married with somebody else. Doesn't make sense.
No. What do you mean? She let's say they did Chalitza the first time, but
the
that meant
person
nothing.
that the wife doesn't know, get married with somebody else.
Yeah, she did Chalitza.
But the person that died has a brother. Yeah. You do Chalisa or Yevum.
Yeah, they did, but it doesn't matter. It didn't mean anything because he was really still alive. They did. Let's say they did Chalitza for the first. When the witness came and said he's dead, they did chalitza, and then she married somebody else, and she had a whole family, and then the husband came back, and now he died for real. Everybody died for real. Both husbands died for real. So Rabbi Shimon says that biato chalitzata me'achiv shel rishon poteret tzarata. That the yibum or chalitza of the first husband's brother covers the tzara. So what do you see from here? You see that this case is a sota. She's a sota. She was with somebody else while she was married to her husband. Right? This husband who left town, he had 2 wives. One of them didn't marry anybody else. One of them married somebody else. So one of them is a sota, really. One of them is not. So we see that the chalitza to the sota covers the other wife. So Amar lecha Rav, Amin lecha ana sota deoraita, v'at amar li sota derabanan. Rav says, whoa, 1 second. You can't bring this as a proof against me. That you see that the sota requires chalitza. This is a different case. This is not a sota deoraita. Mideoraita, she's not a sota. She was anusa. The witness came and told her that your husband died, and this is a different case. Can't bring me a proof from this case. This is derabanan. Rabbanan treat her as a sota because they want to make sure that she does her homework before she marries somebody. So Rabbanan said, this is, your kids are going to be mamzerim and you can't stay with any of these men. But it's really mideoraita, not a case of sota. The one who compared it to sota, what was he thinking? So kasavar kol takin Rabbanan ke'en deoraita tikun. Everything that Rabbanan established, the Rabbanan made this case like a sota, they established it ke'ein deoraita, similar to the deoraita. Let's read a couple more lines, turn the page. Mativ Rav Ashi. Rav Ashi asks a case, Nichnesa imo leseter v'shahata imo kedei tum'ah. It's if the woman, let's say a husband, he warns his wife, don't go with this man. And she goes with that man, and she stayed in the room with him for enough time that it's possible that they were... we don't know anything happened or didn't happen, but it's possible that it happened. She stayed in there for long enough that it happened. Kedei tuma. So asura lebeita v'asura le'echol b'truma. She is now not allowed to be with her husband, and if the husband is a kohen, she's not allowed to eat truma anymore. Ve'imet choletzet velo mityabemet. And if the husband dies, there's chalitza, no yibum. So what do you see from here? You see that she requires a chalitza. There is a zikah to sarat sota. So amar lecha Rav, amin lecha ana sota vadai. Va'amart li ad sota safek. Rav says, no, this is also not similar to my case. I'm talking about a case of vadai sota. We know 100% that she was with somebody else. This is a case of sota safek. She went to the room. We don't know. Did she do anything? Did she not do anything? So safek, we're machmir. So, but she still requires chalitza because maybe she didn't really do anything. So it's a safek. But when she vadai 100%, we have two witnesses that tell us, and she admits it, and we know 100% that she was unfaithful. So in that case, she wouldn't require chalitza. Ma'ishna sota vadai mishum dichtiv ba tumah sota safek nami tumah ktiv ba. Tanya. Okay, you know what? We'll have to stop here. This part we'll do tomorrow.
What we should do? We're going to do something. It was just 3 people.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to say something?